And here's the thing. The hot take of the week, we're kicking it off with something special.
The
nerds will be wrong. They slandered me while I was in the air flying to Paris. This podcast, The Exemplist, with Charles McDonald and Bill Barnwell, they slandered me. Thomas, play this clip of them slandering me.
This is great.
And then I get to have my say.
That's right.
Let's move on to the horrible team in New Orleans. And honestly, I just want to get this started off with a question from Ralph Malborough.
just the way he said Ralph. So condescending.
Ralph, the Saints fan. Ugh. At Saints Forecast. When, not if is out the question. All right. Wow. Okay. Ralph has a crystal ball that he's holding out on the rest of us, apparently. Doesn't want to share. And apparently this crystal ball is only related to New Orleans Saints predictions. So Ralph says, when the Saints win 10-plus games, will Bill then have the decency to shut the fuck up about how Mickey Loomis runs a team after 6 straight winning seasons? Ralph, your diaper. I can smell it from here, my guy. I can smell it from here. I'm like a 10, 12-hour drive away from you. I can smell your dirty-ass diaper from here.
It's right. Coming from a goddamn Falcons fan.
Yeah, let me tell you something. All right, I listened to this like twice. I got worked up. Thanks to Who Dat Juge for subscribing for 5 months. But I'm worked up over this. Let me tell you something. I am not going to take crap from a Giants and Falcons fan on how to construct a team. You know why? The Giants and Falcons combined since 2017, you know how many games they've won? 57. You know how many games the Saints have won since 2017, Kevin?
How many, Ralph?
58. So wow. I don't want to hear it from these turd blossoms, Barnwell and McDonald. And by the way, talking about a poopy diaper, and a Falcons fan like you, Charles, you would be very, very familiar with crap in your pants because the Falcons do it every single year, including in Super Bowls. And Barnwell, he wants to pretend like the 2017 draft was a decade ago. By the way, most of the 2017 draft, which is the best draft in NFL history, except for Trey Hendrickson, they're all still playing for the Saints. And he wants to pretend like the players the Saints lost in 2021, like Jack Rabbit and Emmanuel Sanders, wasn't because he wants to say, oh, it's horrible cap management. No, Bill. It was because of a once-in-a-century freaking pandemic, okay?
And then 2017 was when Joe Schwarber went to the Pro Bowl. I mean, geez, come on. It wasn't that long ago.
And then the thing that drove me nuts is they want to say, Charles wants to say, oh, one of the Falcons' goals for 2022 is to beat the Saints at least once. Strange goal to have against a team who had a terrible offseason. Also, Bill says, oh, the entire NFL thought Tyrann Mathieu was completely washed in 2018. But you know what? In 2018, the Texans signed him for peanuts when the NFL thought he was washed. How'd that work out, Bill? And just maybe, the Saints are smarter than most NFL teams. And you know what? While the Falcons and Giants are doing their super smart rebuild for glorious unknown future in 2025, the Saints are trying to continue to win after playing 4 quarterbacks, forfeiting 2 games because of COVID, and setting the NFL record for most starters used in a season in NFL history. And they still won 9 games. Charles hates the Saints because they're cursed like him for being a Falcons fan. And he'd rather do anything than think about comically bad Flowery Branch Community College that is the Falcons. And Bill, he has more Saints are in cap hell articles on the internet than I've mispronounced Alvin Kamara's name. I'm going to tell you both to shut the hell up, but it's way funny to laugh at the diarrhea pouring out of your mouths. I'm tired of these freaking nerds bashing on the Saints. I've had about enough of it.
All right.
And it's done with. The Saints are winning. No.
Oh, Kevin's got to go. Okay.
Go No. Hang on a second, Dave, because the other funny thing is I finally listened to this thing this morning. I finally tracked it down and listened to it. And these jabrones are talking about, oh, Tom Brady was delighted to come back. Delighted to come back to the Bucs because the Bucs are clearly the top team. Well, I don't know, Bill. know, Chuck, what happened to Tom Brady the last 2, 3, 4 times he's played the Saints in the regular season? He's lost.
I like how you specifically said regular season.
Good.
Shut up, Andrew.
Yeah.
He's lost. He's lost, okay? He's lost. Tom Brady, the only reason Tom Brady went back to the Bucs is because his retirement plan got blown up by Bill Belichick at the absolute last possible moment, to the delight of everyone in the world not named Tom Brady.
That's right.
That's the only reason he went back to the Bucs, because he couldn't go try and be a co-owner, part-time player in Miami. That was it. Had nothing to do with the fact that he's going to get to play Sam Darnold, whoever the hell they got down there in Atlanta now, and potentially Jameis Winston. It didn't matter. Tom Brady lost to Ian fucking Book in the regular season.
Trevor Siemian.
That Ian Book, Trevor Siemian, me, you, whoever my fucking neighbor down the street, the one still alive, doesn't fucking matter. You lose to somebody like, you lose to Trevor Siemian, that's grounds to commit seppuku.
We've gone on our rants here, and unless you've listened to the clip, we didn't really play any of the clip that goes into what they say and what they discuss and what the problem is. I mean, basically, Bill Barnwell and this guy Charles McDonald were saying that the Saints, they're too risky with the cap. It's going to catch up with them. They had the 2017 draft, and they really haven't done anything. But it was funny that, and I guess they don't know who you are, Ralph. And one, I'm assuming also that they picked your question because you had the blue check mark.
That's
so
right.
Congratulations.
That's right.
If there's two questions and they're both the same, you're gonna pick the guy with the blue check mark over the guy without the blue check mark. But I'm assuming they don't really know who you are when you ask the question. They don't know that you yourself have been doing a Saints specific podcast.
Yeah,
for 12 years. But it's funny. It's funny that they kind of said, like, you gotta, this guy doesn't even watch the Saints. I grimaced and I was like, all right, well, you don't know. Like, my whole thing is,
I've watched the Saints win 58 games in 5 years, jabronis, and you have watched your two teams
Can we
win
stop with
57.
the Italian-American slurs? Can we stop with the Italian-American slurs, please?
Okay,
Turn
Don
crossing,
Cariello.
is that better?
It was, and that clip that he played, that Thomas played, and I asked to play the clip on the show. It was just very
good call
cringy. Like,
by you.
that's just bad podcast. To me, that was like lame. Like, are people listening to this podcast? He's got a good following. Like, that was very, I don't know, wasn't exciting.
Lamer than FDR.
Yeah, too soon. No, I don't think
Timely.
no. But yeah, no, it was funny when he was when he attacked your credibility and how much you knew about the Saints, because Ralph, both you and Andrew fit in this category, but I would go to bat for either one of you as most knowledgeable Saints fans. So let's not be ridiculous. And Bill Barnwell, I think his job is to follow the entire league. I think maybe.
No, his job is to just write cap. The Saints are going into cap hell articles. That's all he does. He has to churn out one a year consistently.
Look, the quota.
If the Saints, I will admit, like, if the Saints had continued to do what they were doing with the cap, I think at some point it does catch up to you. But this year they have they've done a good job, and they're not going crazy, and we'll see what happens with Michael
Andrew,
Thomas.
explain. It's not going to catch. It's not. It's the cap is not going to catch up. This cap's going to be $250 million.
No, it's
I
the
talked
cap is
about
not
this
going
on our Wednesday Twitter Spaces. COVID already happened. The cap already went backwards. The cap's going to 250 million. Like, it's shooting up to the moon, guys. Like, the cap problems, they already happened. If you were going to talk about the Saints being in cap hell when they were $100 million over the cap last year and they had to do all the shenanigans, and they were $70 million over this year when they almost traded for Deshaun Watson and almost gave him $250 million guaranteed. Like, these were the years. Like, it's already come to roost. It came and went. It's gone. The Saints don't have cap problems anymore. The worst has already happened. It's not getting any worse from here. So, sorry.
Right.
Like, If you were expecting worse, I'm sorry it didn't work out in your favor with all those articles you wrote in the past that ended up not being true. But it doesn't get any worse from here. So sorry, no. And I'm going to go back. I just want to reiterate the point that Ralph made. When you are the Giants and you are the Falcons, you can't say anything to be about roster construction. Sorry. Your opinions are not valid. You have watched a team fall flat on their face and fail continually, especially Barnwell and the freaking Giants, all right? When's the last time they had a winning season or did anything? So maybe you should focus on the things that your team is doing incorrectly, because this era of, the Saints are doing this and, they shouldn't be doing this and this is terrible. Like, the Falcons and the Giants, the last 5 years are the poster childs. They're the poster children for what you do wrong to nuke your roster and stay as non-competitive as possible.
It is.
If I was having a genuine conversation with Bill Barnwell or Charles McDonald or whoever the issue is with here, because I don't know who each one of them is or who their voices are, but if the Saints are a team that are in cap hell and that run their franchise poorly in terms of the cap, then my question would be, tell me the teams that you think operate the cap great. I would be curious to know what.
You know who they'd probably say? They'd probably say the Rams, who are even more reckless than the Saints.
Or they'd say the cheap-ass Colts.
Here, hey.
But my point would be is how successful are those? I mean, those teams.
Yeah, the cheap-ass Colts, by the way, they'd had a nice run in the postseason.
Yeah, they have. And my only thing with Barnwell is he says the same thing over and over and over again about the Saints cap, and he's just wrong. And the thing is, the nerds are going to move the goalposts. This is infuriating too. The thing that infuriated me maybe the most about their entire thing is they're like, if it's best case scenario for the Saints, what do they go 10-7 and win a wild card game against Dallas? That's the best case, and then that will happen. And the nerds will say,
"It's coming from a Giants fan that went 9-7 and won a Super Bowl."
Yeah, is that really worth giving up the 25th pick in the 2023 draft?
Yes.
10-7? Yes, because you know what? Winning is freaking fun, and you do these nerds love these rebuilds. They love the Jets are on a rebuild plan. They're on their third coach in a decade since Rex Ryan. But the rebuild is going well. They got picks. No. How about this? The Saints are trying to continue to win and build on their culture of winning, and they care about the fans. They just respect their fans enough to try to actually win football games. Maybe you should try it.
Those guys have loser team mentalities.
But I just want to say, Jerry, thanks for supporting the show. Everybody, go to www.jldsharpsauce.com. Use the code Saints Happy Hour. Get 10% off. This is our hot take of the week.
Get your sauce.
We're gonna have a hard time topping this one. This one was a doozy right out of the gate. Thanks for watching the Saints Happy Hour. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, then find us wherever you get your podcast, and finally go to saintshappyhour.com and become a patron of the best Saints podcast on earth.